Welcome to the Pool Nation podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zac the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast with myself, your host, Edgar De Jesus. And yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zac the Pool Boy Nicholas. In this episode, we're talking about some of the new things that we've been working on for the Pool Nation podcast and our followers. We're talking about our new peer-to-peer platform, the one-on-one coaching, and we talk about the Pool Nation business training. I want to welcome everyone to the live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends in the training industry, in the pool industry. I'm struggling today, gentlemen. Before we get started today, I want to thank their sponsors for this podcast, the Ultimate Pool Tools, the SPPA, and PoolInvoice.com. We want to thank them for their continued support. Zac, good morning.
Well, I'm just glad you had a little boo-boo there, because now it's taken all the pressure off of me for today. So thank you for that. I'm going to switch it up today. I've noticed I say good morning every single Friday. So today I'm just going to say happy Friday to everyone out there. And I don't know about y'all, but our weather has been amazing the last few days. We've had some awesome temperatures. You come out in the morning, it's cool. Like you can smell kind of like that smoke. Someone's got a fireplace going. It just smells nice. So I'm really enjoying that right now.
John, good morning.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Look, speaking of, when Edgar messes up, the sad thing is, Zac, is when we screw up, he keeps it on there and makes us look like fools when he posts a podcast. But since he does all the editing, he goes in there and recuts it, and then he'll reword it and redo it. So it sounds like he's absolutely perfect every single time. And we look like the fools on the podcast. So I know what you're up to there, Edgar. You know it's true, right?
Problem is you're getting pretty damn smart onto all my tricks. You caught me with the last names last time and called me out on it.
Right? You're like, I don't give a shit if I screw this up. I'm going to go in there, make it fine. But when John and when Zac, oh my God, right? We highlight that. No.
Here's the thing, John. When I do it, it sounds stupid. When you guys do it, it sounds funny.
It's always like that. You're always very critical on yourself, but it's actually pretty funny. I think I look forward to your little mishaps in the morning. Again, that sounds weird, doesn't it? Mishaps. It sounds like never mind. I'm not going to go there. Forget it. I'm not going to go there.
I do want to say that we were able to figure out, we were having Facebook Live issues for the last 2 weeks. We were able to figure it out. So I've been kind of distracted because we got it to launch. Now it's over on the right side of my screen. So it's kind of confusing because there's probably like a 10, 15 second delay. So
it's working?
Kind of have that lag. It is working, yes. So
that's awesome. Mama's
so
really
hopefully
happy.
We'll get people to kind of jump on it. I know some people kept messaging me. They were kind of a little bit frustrated, but I had to reach out to Facebook, and I was only able to get some support because I was talking to some marketing people, and that took advantage and said, hey, I'm having this problem. And so anyway, so we went through all this hoopla, and it looks like it's working now. So that's good. So I'm super excited today. I was kind of having a little bit of a crummy morning, boys, but once we kind of get on here, just kind of forget about all that stuff and ready to have some fun. And then today is the weekend that I go up to see my daughter at OU. So as soon as I'm done with the podcast, me and my son are going to pack our bags and hit the road. So it'll be fun. Guys, I want to get started off by talking about the Pool Nation Awards. And we partnered with the International Pool and Spa Show out in Dallas. And that's going to be November 13th through the 18th. And The learning part of the show is going to be the 13th through the 15th. That's when they're going to have all the classes. You have to sign up to go to the classes and all that. And then the 16th through the 18th is the expo. So you'll be able to go to the expo part, meet all the vendors, all the new products, all that fun stuff. We are going to have a booth there. We are going to be out there. Anybody that wants to check it out, check out the Pool Spa Patio Expo is what it's called. Go out there, check it out. For everyone out there, I want you to go to the Pool Nation Awards, and I want you to vote for your favorite products, for your favorite pool pros, and for your favorite sales reps. So far, Zac, John, there's a lot of people getting out there. They're voting, but we want to make sure that everybody keeps going out there. Everybody keeps voting. If you don't go and you don't vote for your favorite products, pool pros or salespeople, and they don't win, you can't come back to me and complain and say, hey, I don't agree with that person that won that category or won that. Because I did have somebody call me kind of saying, oh, well, can you tell me who's winning and who's it? I'm like, nope, we're not sharing any of that information. I go, however, I could tell that you haven't voted. He's a good friend. So I go, I know that you haven't voted because I know your email and I've been checking and you haven't voted. I go, and you're the one that's going to come over to me later and complain if a different product wins because I know that you're completely loyal hardcore to one category. So get out there and vote. So you guys got to get out there and vote for your favorite products.
Was that John?
No, I think
John's asleep out there.
Was that John that called you? The friend?
He did. It was John.
Right.
He's like, Edgar, how come this category? And I'm like, John, you haven't even set up to vote, dude. Right. So you got to get in there and vote, John.
Right. No, look, it's the truth. You guys, this is all about the pool pros. So it's up to you who decides, nothing to do with us. And, whoever's out there who's nominated, if you have an opinion on it, we highly suggest you go out there and you make a vote. That way your voice is heard, and that's the whole purpose of what we're doing here. And I know that there's quite a few people out there that, either didn't hear about the nominations or felt that, they missed out on that portion of it. We understand, but, hopefully next year when we do this, you guys, it's the first of everything, right? So there's always going to be people that are going to be out there. I had a lot of people call and text me too and say, hey, look, I didn't know there were nominations or I didn't know this, but, we put it out there, every podcast we talked about it. We talked about it on our lives. The people that did vote that were out there, thank you. Those that are nominated now, please do your part and go out there and vote for them, whoever you feel is the best for that award. And then we'll go from there.
Additionally, too, I want to mention the promo code. So if you go sign up for the Pool Spa Patio Expo, you can get a free Expo pass by using promo code POOLNATION in all caps. And this is a day pass to get into the exhibitor's floor. And the cost of that pass is normally $60, I believe. But if you use that promo code, you can get it for free. So to do that, you're going to go to poolnationawards.com, and there's a big red button at the top of the page that says Free Expo Pass. If you click that, it'll direct you to the registration page and automatically apply the code for you. And you can also go register through poolspapatio.com and do that as well. And again, the show dates are going to be the 13th to the 18th, and the education part is from the 13th to the 15th, and the expo is from the 16th to the 18th. So make sure you go get registered.
Yeah, you guys are going to want to get that pass, and that's a big one, guys. Go out there, sign up. We have it on the website, like Zac was saying. And then we also get, guys, we're also able to get a report and see kind of who's registered and use that code so that we know who the people are that are going to the show. And that's important for us, guys, because, when we decide to do things or say, hey, we're going to go have a dinner at this place, or you guys want to meet us or whatever, that's how we're going to be able to know. And so that's how we're going to be able to connect with you guys. And I know that a lot of times it's like, that's the kind of stuff that we leave for the last minute, but you don't want to do that, just so that we kind of get an idea of, how many people are coming out to kind of get together with us. And we know what we could do, where we could kind of go, or what type of events we want to hold.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to need to talk about the tickets because this is going to be a limited event. So there's only so many people that we can accommodate at the dinner and at the awards. So as much as we'd like it to be a standing room only event, we're trying to have it to where we can have tables sat and, we're going to have dinner. There's going to be a show. It's going to be quite the production. So anybody who's interested in doing it, we need you to get on there and get tickets as soon as they become available so that you can reserve a spot and you can be there, because it will fill up for sure.
If you're from out of state and you're planning to attend, what I really want you to do is I want you to reach out to me and let me know that you're planning to attend so that we can, obviously be aware of those that are coming from far, right? So send me an email to Edgar at Pool Nation Podcasts, and I can send you a link. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up probably about 40 tickets right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to focus on those people that are coming from out of state first and send them the links. There is going to be a cost for the tickets so that you'll be able to get that from there. So anyways, send me a message, send me an email. I already have a list of people. I know that I'm drawing a blank. Pool Guardians. Chris from Pool Guardians is coming out with his wife. I know that Lindsay Brown from Oasis is coming out with her husband. I think Amber Sweet Sparkling Pools is coming out as well. And then who was the other person, John?
I know Dean. Dean posted a picture of him taking airplane tickets to go out there, and I spoke with him. He's going to be out there too.
So I do have a list. I have a list of some people out there. We'll kind of send that out, but send us an email. That way we want to know. And then the one thing that we want to do is we definitely want to thank our current sponsors for the Pool Nation Awards. That's huge for us guys because this is an event that we want to do big. You guys saw the awards. Oh my God, I left the awards downstairs, guys. I got to bring it up in a little while. When we go on break, I'll go run it and bring it so that we could show it. But so I want to thank, the Ultimate Pool Tools, the SPPA. I want to thank HASA. They've stepped in and are a huge sponsor of it. I want to thank Jay with Jay Breakfield Pools as well. And we had a pool pro reach out that wanted to sponsor one of the awards, and we've been talking about it. So if you are a pool pro, what we are going to do is allow you to sponsor one of the awards if you want to. And what you can do is reach out to us. We can kind of give you the details. But basically what we'll do is, you can sponsor one category. You can kind of hand out that trophy. The sponsorship for that's going to be $250. That's going to include a ticket to the event. And just remember that one of the things that we're going to ask is that you come up to the podium and you present that category. So you don't have to be like Zac and panic about the script or any of that. We'll kind of tell you what it is that you need to say. But you are able to do that. So if you're interested, just kind of reach out to me, Zac or John, and we'll kind of focus on that and get you all the information and get you all set up. I do want to thank the people that are on Facebook, Jeanette, Ed, Janie. The link is working today, so they're already on there excited. I'm sure Marie is going to be out here. I think Jay is listening through Riverside FM. So big shout out to you guys for listening to us. So
hey,
go ahead, John.
I want to interrupt. No, I just want to say, how cool is it that Jay sponsored us? It's one thing for HASA, right? We appreciate it. Ultimate Pool Tools, Ken, Sarah, they've been with us since the very beginning. SPPA, that's awesome. But again, we got to remember these are businesses, right? And this is part of business structure, and this is what you do. You align with common-minded people or programs, and you help them, and in turn you get your product put out there and talked about and stuff. But what Jay did, that's just friggin' awesome. That he would do that. He's not slinging a product. He's not putting anything out there. He's just truly just trying to show support, and he appreciates the things that, or at least he's gotten something out of what we've talked about. To me, that just means the world. That he thinks enough of what we're trying to do here and what we're trying to accomplish is good enough for him to put his hard-earned money out there to help support so that we can continue doing this and be able to provide content for other pool companies and other pool service guys and gals out there so that we can do these awards and we can do these fancy podcasts and whatever in the hell we're doing, So big shout out to Jay out there. I just wanted to say thank you. I think it's pretty awesome that you did that for us. So I appreciate it.
Definitely. And I'm hoping that we can get him to go out to the awards and kind of obviously mingle and kind of connect with them. Super excited about that. And yeah, John, it was super cool because obviously it's a pool pro, right? That's kind of coming up to us and going, I believe in what you guys are doing. I want to support you guys. And that just speaks volumes. So kind of
for sure
is a highlight for sure. Our shout out for this week is going to go to Luis from LC Pools in California. And I got a call from him yesterday, and he was telling me that, Jay is sending me a message here, and he is saying he's listening on Riverside. And he says, I can't text on Riverside right now, but let him know I said, thanks. My wife and I will be there. Yes. So, awesome. Jay, we got you covered. Thanks for listening. We're going to get you set. So the shout out this week, Luis from LC Pool Guys. And I was super excited about this yesterday because I get a call from him and he's like, hey, Edgar, I just wanted to, thank you guys. I went over to quote a pool, and they do charge a higher premium rate. They John have gone into that VIP service. And what they did is they took over the business from the father, kind of old school, lower rated pools. They came in, they've done the truck wraps. They've, really elevated their service, and they charge a premium. So anyway, so they go out in their area to quote a pool. And a lot of what he deals with is, being outbid because the other guy's at $100. And so that's a big problem for them. And they're close to $200, $220. He went over, talks to the customer, gives them the sales pitch, and the customer says, oh, I really appreciate that. We really kind of can't afford that. We had somebody else come in and give us a quote of $155. And so he was super excited to the fact that somebody is charging $155, that it wasn't that $100. And he was completely okay with it. He's like, Edgar, I am completely okay with somebody coming in at $155, knowing that that's where they're going to be. And she just kind of can't afford us for the service that we give. But he goes, I just had to call you because you guys are constantly talking about it. And he said, and I don't know if it's related to you guys or not, but I just wanted to thank you because you guys are having the conversation and I'm coming out and seeing people raising rates out there. So he was super excited, told me, tell Zac and John, thanks so much. But, looks like we are making an industry, a change in the industry. And so that was great to hear. And John's talking to Zac, but he's on mute.
You like that? Holy shit.
This week it's you.
So, it's never going to end. Look, that is probably some of the greatest news that I've heard in quite a while. And it is what we've been screaming from the rooftops for many, many years. I know anybody I ever talk to about pools ever, and they know me and they can say it. The first thing I start talking about is rates and charging more and knowing your worth and, and kind of getting it out there. And just to see that change is starting to happen is such a beautiful thing, because that's the first step for us as an industry to become, I believe, more respected and able to have I don't know the words I want to be nice about this, but put us in a position to where we kind of feel good about what we're doing because we're actually making a good living, doing great work and important work. And some people might think I'm kind of blowing that out of proportion or saying, oh my God, you just clean pools and what kind of important work. And that's how I look at it. I think what we do is very important. It's important for health, safety, beauty of a home, value of a home, memories for families and children and, and that kind of stuff's important. And I think I've always said that I don't think us as an industry have been very well regarded as far as contractors. But I think that's starting to change. And this is proof in the pudding that the message is kind of going out and people are understanding that, hey, look, you have to be able to make a living in order to survive. Even if it's a small bump up to, 155 compared to where it was before. Hopefully sooner or later, we're going to start seeing that number go higher and higher as an average so that people can start, at least like us for premium service that we try, there's a piece of a pie. Everybody can choose what kind of service provider they want to be. Where we're able to raise our rates too and not be so ridiculous when it comes down to the difference between me and the other guy that might be charging $100 or $80 a month. So anyways, all around good news. That's awesome.
I like your saying where it's like, you don't need to survive. You need to thrive. And so if you're a business owner, you need to make sure that you're thriving. I mean, that's the end goal for every business owner, right? Nobody's going to kind of come in and go, I just want a job so that I can kind of survive. If you're taking the risk, if you're taking the financial risk, if you're taking all that burden, you don't want to survive. You want to thrive. And the only way that you're going to do that is to be able to obviously charge the right amount of money that allows your business to thrive. So that's huge. The other thing that I think continues to happen, guys, and I got a call from somebody from Florida, and there was a pool company with 300 pools that called it quits, and they just couldn't, they're done. They kind of dismantled the company. They sent messages out to all their customers, and they're kind of, they're done and they're out. And I think we're going to continue to see this trend, especially as companies aren't able to adjust. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult for those guys that have the $90 rates and have the $100 rates, and they have a big, huge amount of customers, because you really need to do that huge shift, So we've been talking about it for a while. I think now, wintertime, things are going to kind of slow down a little bit. Everything's kind of settling down. We're kind of seeing a little bit of abundance of chlorine out there. Parts aren't as much of there are a struggle, but they're not as bad. You're starting to see people be able to get products and parts and stuff like that. But everybody needs to be really careful, because the wintertime is really 3-4 months. So we kind of go November, December, January, February. That's 4 months, and we're going to start to kick into gear. So I think there's a lot of strategy that needs to be talked about, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, especially as we talk into the peer-to-peer platform as we start to get in. So, guys, don't drop your guard. I know that we're kind of going into the wintertime and things are going to feel like everything's kind of going back to normal, but, keep your eye on the prize out there. Guys, before we get into our conversation, and we are going to talk about the new peer-to-peer platform that we're launching on October 3rd, we're going to talk about the one-on-one coaching. We're going to talk a little bit about the Pool Nation business/financial training. But let me ask you this, guys. We started the podcast. We've kind of started doing the Instagram lives. And I don't know if for you guys, but to me, it seems like it was just yesterday that we kind of started this whole journey. And it's a long way to go, right? Before we kind of reach our goals to really kind of try to elevate the industry, to help pool pros out there. And it's amazing how things have changed along the way, right? Like we thought, here's what they're going to want, here's what we're going to do. And things have really kind of changed and evolved. And I think one of the things that we're doing a lot better now is before we move forward, we're kind of listening to what it is that the pool pros out there are asking for, and kind of going in that direction to kind of feel that need. But out of this entire journey that we've kind of started with Pool Nation and the podcast and all that, what have you guys enjoyed the most out of this last, year, at least for the podcast?
I'm going to jump in on this one because I missed the 1 year episode, if you remember. So I didn't get to talk about any of this. And for me, it's been really cool to just meet different pool pros, talk, build those relationships, get different advice from other people, and just build those relationships. The pool pros and the manufacturer reps and the experts. It's been really exciting to get a lot of that information from all of those people, the knowledge that I've been able to gain from them. And then the biggest piece for me, I think individually, is going to be the opportunity to grow as a person. Because as you all know, I feel like I'm more of an introvert, and this whole experience is pulling me way out of my comfort zone. And as painful as it can be, it's super exciting to kind of get out of my comfort zone. It's helping me to be a better person.
For me personally, I'm going to tag on to what Zac said, and I couldn't agree more. It's the relationships, the networking, doing something you never thought you would have ever done before. Even myself, I don't have an issue talking to people. Do I like to talk to people? Sometimes no. Do I prefer sometimes not to talk to people? I probably don't, because I think people are frustrating sometimes. But did I ever imagine in a million years that I'd be sitting here on a friggin' video doing a podcast or doing lives, to the pool industry? Absolutely not. So to me, I like that because it's something different, a little something unexpected. I'm pretty meticulous when it comes down to how I like my life to go and how I like to plan things and how I see things as far as like business wise and personal. And this was kind of a curveball for us, but it's been quite the fun journey, and it's helped excel where we've wanted to go as a business and where we've wanted to see the pool industry go, and it's just kind of put it on afterburners and, nitrous. And just like the example you just said about average rate and people charging more and us coming together as an industry. And I think this is a great tool And I'm just super, super proud to be involved in it. And I hope it just continues to go. And worst case scenario, if not, I've made 2 great friends, and which to me mean the world. And it's just been a blessing from the very beginning. It's not easy. It's tough. We're all busy and we're all doing a lot of work, and we put a lot of time and effort into doing this. Nobody gets paid for it. This isn't it, but it's more of just, I don't know, a sense of accomplishment, or being just, being included in this wonderful pool industry. And when I say it, I'm not just trying to, blow sunshine and rainbows up everybody's butts, but I really, really believe that this is an emerging industry. And I think that as far as technology and where it's going to be 5-10 years from now, it's going to be unrecognizable compared to where it was 5 years ago. And it's just awesome to be a part of it. And I think being a part of like Pool Nation and the podcast and everything we do is just been a blessing in disguise. So
let me ask you this, guys. Do you remember the phone call that I made when I called you guys up and I'm like, hey, kind of random call here. Zac, John, kind of thinking of doing the podcast thing, but I only want to do it if you're going to, kind of join me. Do you remember that phone call?
I remember the moment. I was clearing off the patio because Hurricane Laura was coming in, I think. I just remember being out there like, what are we talking about right now? Like, I'm trying to get ready for this, but fortunately, it missed us. Unfortunately, it took out Biolab. So that was around that whole deal.
No, that's a bad memory right there.
Yeah.
What about you, John?
Yeah, I mean, I 100% remember it. I'm like, this ain't going to happen. Or, let's give it a shot and see where it goes. But I didn't think in a million years that at first, when we first started, that we were going to be, I believe that we were going to continue putting out content, but not at this level so quickly. It's just been crazy. It really has. And I remember that conversation. I'm like, dude, I remember when you were calling me up on the first years ago when you wanted me to do the live or whatever it was, however long ago it was. And I'm like, the live? Like, what the hell's, I've never had Instagram. I've never had Facebook. I've never had any of this crap, right? I still don't have Facebook. And Mama created our Instagram page, and, I play around and whatever I look and I do whatever I do, but I'm not actively on it all the time. Most of the stuff that happens, it's because of Mama. But when you talked about live, I've never even heard of, I was just like, oh my God. And for once in my life, I was actually a little nervous. I remember because I'm used to speaking to people and talking to people. It doesn't bother me, but man, boy, I was a little nervous that day. And I was like, holy shit, man. This is weird. I'm sitting here looking at myself and talking to myself, and I don't see an audience, right? And I look like a weirdo staring in a mirror, talking to myself. But I remember that day vividly. And then I also definitely remember the phone call when you said, hey, either all in or all out. And I said, okay. But I really didn't expect everybody for it to actually happen, but it did. And I'm so grateful it did.
Do you now think twice when Edgar comes up with an idea and brings it to your attention, knowing that there is no doubt? There's no doubt when he has an idea, we're going.
Edgar he is very dedicated to everything he does. And when he does something, he is 150% involved and into it, right? He does not shortchange anything. When he decides to do something, he gives it everything he absolutely has, right? And he takes it to the extreme. And I've grown to love that about him because it shows his dedication and passion. And when he says he wants to do something, I definitely, Zac, you're 100% right. It's like, I really need to think about this, because if I say yes, right, and it ends up being a 2-1 vote, or all 3 yes vote on this, we're going, it's happening, right? There is no doubt that it's happening. So, I definitely think twice about it. And I'm a little bit more opinionated because I know that, if I don't speak my piece now, I'm going to pay for it later. So.
Thanks for that, John. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, Zac, were you a little nervous the first time that you jump on the Instagram Live?
Just a little bit. Yeah. I was freaking out all day long. I don't think I worked. I just sat there and thought about everything. And then I don't know if you remember, but right before the live, I sliced my finger open. There's 2 minutes till it started. I'm bleeding all over the floor, panicking. Yeah, it was definitely a very nerve-wracking experience for me.
So how is it now when you do the podcast and you do the Instagram?
Nerve-wracking, but
It's still
not
nerve-wracking?
as nerve-wracking. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever get used to it.
I think you learn to kind of flow along. John, an example, I go back and I remember the first times that I did the Instagram Live and they did an update and we had all kinds of issues. It felt like the world was just kind of coming to an end. And so this last Instagram Live, they did an update. We were having all kinds of problems. Like the buttons that I pressed weren't there anymore. Now it shows different data. Bob couldn't get on. I couldn't find you. It was showing 3 of you, but I would send an invite and it wouldn't go. And then it just kind of became, it's all good. It'll all just kind of come together. You know, we're going to work through this. And just everybody just hung on. Everybody stayed on the live and they were patient. And then we kind of figured it all out and went from there. But I do remember those first days were definitely nerve-wracking. And what made me, have the nerves to do that first Instagram Live, I don't know. I look back and I just don't remember that at all. It's like, I remember going, I'm going to do it. And I went live and
Took a lot of balls, brother.
and how I did it, I have no idea. But, here we are later doing these podcasts and doing all these Instagram Lives. And I love them. So,
I want to jump into what Zac was saying. And he says it every time. And I just don't get it. I mean, I know Zac and we've talked, we've met, right? And we see each other all the time. And every time when he talks about him doing a podcast or him doing a live or participating, he always talks about, he's always like nervous and he's like, he's like stressed out, but he never comes off that way. Right. And I don't know if he's just trying to pull the wool over our eyes here, or make it sound like, but I mean, dude, can anybody ever remember a podcast that we've done or a video that we've done or a training that we've done or an Instagram Live or anything where Zac has kind of messed up or shown that he's like, you know what I mean? Like he's always done really, really well. I don't get it, Zac. Either you prepare a lot and you're sitting there all night drinking bangs, staring in the mirror, going over word for word verbatim exactly what you're going to say and you learn how to land it, perfectly, or you're just trying to fool us. But
it's half accurate.
Half accurate?
Accurate. But we'll find out November 17th.
That's going to be the true test. Because if everybody doesn't know, Zac is saying, look, that's the one thing he's like freaked out about is getting up on stage and doing the awards. And he's like literally, I mean, if you can see him right now, if you guys aren't watching the video, he's like turning beet red right now and he's like already starting to sweat. So he is definitely a little bit worried about it. And to me, I have no idea what to expect. I've never done anything like that before. I know it's going to be a good time and it'll be pretty interesting. And I know Edgar is going to have quite the production set up for us. And I'm just wondering what I'm going to end up doing to screw it all up because I'm a little bit of a loose cannon up there and I'm trying and I hope I don't mess it up, Edgar. I'm sorry, brother.
Here's what I'm doing. I'm going to write all the script and going to do all that around John because I know he's just going to be that loose cannon. So it's all going to flow through that loose cannon kind of.
I promise you, Edgar's going to have a little button in his hand, and that button is going to be my mic, right? And it's going to cut my mic on and off. While we're up there, I guarantee you'll have one of those up there. All right.
Guys,
he'll be like editing it as you talk, like cutting and going and cutting, going and cutting, going. Yeah.
Yeah. There's going to be a curtain that's going to come flying down right in front of me. Right.
I do have to tell you this. So we talk about doing the awards, everything. And then all of a sudden it like dawned on me, we're like 57, 56 days away from the event. And so I start making phone calls. We get the awards. We kind of start trying to finalize a lot of the things. I start talking to some of the stuff that we're going to have there on the tables. It really just kind of gets me really excited because we're going to have a good time. Now, it's going to be a limited time. It's going to be the first one. I think the biggest fear is what we don't know, right? So we've never done one. So can we do some things where we like drop the ball? We can. And I'll give everybody a perfect example. We're going to have tickets. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me. It's like, well, how are we going to verify that the tickets are there? So, oh no. So now we got to like find something where we can scan tickets. And so kind of scrambling and trying. So my biggest fear is what are we going to do at the awards that all of a sudden we get there and we're like, oh, we totally like forgot this part of the awards kind of thing. But even if that happens, John, Zac, we're going to have a good time. So
we're going to have a good time regardless.
It's going to be one ticket.
Look, and the pool industry is not an easy crowd to impress, right?
No.
right? There's a lot of different varying opinions, and the spectrum is broad. It'll be interesting. I am absolutely looking forward to it.
The thing that I'm looking forward to, guys, is we're going to do the awards. We're going to do all that, but just kind of all the networking. Because think about it. We get all those people in there, and we're going to have reps. We're going to have pool guys, pool girls, and just kind of be able to like all come together. COVID, we haven't been able to get together with people. We haven't been able to do things. These are a lot of the people that we talk to all the time. And then just to be able to finally like all come together and just have a good time and watch Zac, do his performance up there and do his karaoke kind of thing. I mean, it's just going to be priceless. It's going to be gold.
Did the headshots come in that you did of Zac? There's going to be like a signing session or something like that where he's going to be signing autographs or a meet and greet, right?
Yep.
At the beginning for Zac. So,
yep. So as you come in, you guys will all be able to take a picture with Zac.
Yep.
And he's going to be there. And then there's going to be an opening performance with a song. And then Zac's going to be singing that song, kind of welcome to the first Pool Nation Awards.
And then
he's going to be doing the flawless rap
while I'm passed out on the stage.
Right. With a panic attack, right?
Anyways, guys, I think it's going to be a great thing. I know that a lot of the manufacturers, a lot of the people have reached out. They're super excited about it. And come on, guys. Let's be realistic. This is going to be for some big bragging rights because these are from the pool pros and they came up with the idea. They're the ones that vote. There is no panel of judges on this kind of stuff. It's basically by voting. You get out, you vote. That's going to be the popular product out there. So I have a feeling that there's going to be some people that are going to be very excited about, them winning the awards, and we're just going to have a great time. So, all right, guys. Let's jump into the podcast because normally, like we normally do, guys, I look at the time and it's like 40 minutes into the podcast and we haven't even started this podcast. It's like, boom. So let's talk about the peer-to-peer program that we put together. And guys, make it just up from the beginning. This is not a free program. This is a paid program and it's $49 a month to be part of the peer-to-peer platform. And this is separate from the Instagram Lives. It's separate from the podcast. And we've scheduled the first one for October 3rd. And what this is going to be is it's going to be a monthly video meeting where we're able to do private calls in a group setting. And we're able to answer your specific questions on business and able to do it in private where it's closed off to homeowners. It's closed off to, just a regular live audience everywhere. We're going to have topics that we're going to cover and we'll be able to get more detailed about it. We're even going to have professionals come on to these peer-to-peer and address some topics. So, perfect example, we kind of get into a situation where there's a lot of people that want to talk about, Zac, you were talking about the hiring and kind of coming up with different hiring strategies because Indeed doesn't work anymore. We're going to have some of these professionals in HR come in, talk about those topics, talk about how you need to basically get out there, how you need to use social media, what different things you need to do to be able to pull people in. So we're going to have them come in, but it's going to be that private environment where you're able to specifically ask questions about your business. Because on the podcast and the Instagram Lives, we get the questions, but people are afraid to specifically say, hey, for my business, this is where I'm at. How do I get out of this? How do I do that? And this is what that is going to provide is that peer-to-peer platform. And the biggest thing is exactly like it is in the name, there's going to be other peers that have gone through what you're going through, and they're going to be able to also give their feedback on that situation and what it is that you need to do to improve your business. So I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be a great thing as this gets going. So guys, October 3rd, if you want to register for it, go to thepoolnationpodcast.com. There's a section right there for the different programs. There's the one for the peer-to-peer. You can sign up. And again, the first one's going to be October 3rd.
Yeah, look, I'm excited about that one too. You kind of nailed it perfectly when you talk about it, Edgar. You say it's an environment where people feel a little bit more comfortable being able to talk about the specific issues that they might have, and they don't want to broadcast it on national TV or on Instagram Live for everybody to hear and see, right? So people will send us questions to ask or to do, and then we talk about them. We try to answer them on the Instagram Lives or on the podcast, and you can't really control who's listening. Even though our audience is is geared towards specifically the servicemen and women out there, But put yourself in a position when you were new, just imagine starting out, right? And you're intimidated and you want to ask a question, but you don't want to feel stupid asking it. Well, the whole purpose of this group and having it is we want to create that environment to where you feel comfortable being able to come up and say, hey, look, I have this question that I wasn't really feel very comfortable talking about in front of other people, because the internet's brutal. It really is. And sometimes people say something and you got some knucklehead jumping on there and making a comment, right? Or saying, because they've been doing it for 832,000 years, that they've been doing it this way. And it's stupid of you asking that question. So people tend to get guarded and don't feel comfortable in that environment. So having this is pretty cool, because you'll have access to us to be able to talk to us more specifics. And then you also have a team of other like-minded pool service owners that are also looking to improve and better themselves. And it's pretty cheap, right? $49 a month. That's nothing. It's the cost of what? 20 tabs now? 20 tablets? That's not that big of a deal, is it? So
that's kind of scary if you think about it, huh?
Right? For the cost of 20 tablets. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that, because that's a real precious commodity and nobody really wants to give up the tablets right now. But, just for a couple cases of chlorine or 2 cases of acid, it's not really that big of a deal. All the wealth of knowledge that you're going to have there, not only just between us being able to talk to you and help you, but everyone else that's like-minded and wanting to work and learn and be able to reach out to other pool guys and gals and have that networking. So I'm pretty stoked about it.
I'm super, super stoked about it. I think that's going to be able to, kind of help elevate a lot of people a lot quicker.
Personally, for me, I love peer-to-peer stuff. So, I went through the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. I'm currently in the SBA's Emerging Leaders program. And both of those programs really lean heavy on peer-to-peer. So I'm in these groups, and it's just a variety of people, different business owners with different businesses and a huge variety of different industries, right? And this person makes $10 million a year, just something crazy. And then they're asking me, like, what did you say you did when you were working on hiring that person? And you just really find that as business owners, we all kind of experience the same problems. And it doesn't really matter, like, if you have 100 pools or 500 pools, like, it's all very similar. And like John was saying, it's that real safe place, right? Where we can kind of open up and get a little bit more in depth. And there are some important conversations that we need to be having right now with the current state of the world. And things are just going to get crazier. So now we can discuss a lot of these topics, and instead of just kind of glazing over them, we can really get into the details of it all.
I agree, Zach. I think we keep talking about it, and that is that these are crazy times, and especially with the continued conversation, and I know it doesn't go away with the products and the chlorine shortage. And, I keep repeating it over and over again, is that at this stage, what you should be doing is already looking at next year. And I know today's second or third day of fall. Everybody's starting to post pictures of, fall is here. And there's an abundance of chlorine. And, there's, do you see pictures of guys with trucks and just tons of pieces of equipment on it? And that comes with the time. It comes with, September comes and there's like a 15-20% decrease in chlorine usage, and then that kind of goes down even more into October. But you kind of have to be really strategic and start thinking about next year. And it's like, you look back, John, if you didn't take the steps, Zach, if you guys didn't take the steps to protect yourselves for the summertime, where would you have been?
Up Schitt's Creek.
But you had the foresight. We talked about it. We kind of even bounced ideas off of each other. And even then, it was still crazy for you guys. John, I remember you completely stressed out in the middle of summer and just kind of, doing that. Zach, you driving all over the place, trying to find things. So, now the thing is that strategy needs to be going in place, today, so that next summer you don't find yourself into that situation, because things are going to be a little bit different. But let me tell you, if the biolab plant doesn't come on during the time that they're saying that it's going to come on, it's going to be another very, very, very crazy summer. Again, one more time, if you guys want to sign up, go to our new site at poolnationpodcast.com, and you can find it there under the memberships. The peer-to-peer meetings are going to have a structure to them, kind of like we do with the podcast. So we are going to have topics that are going to be announced in advance so pool pros have time to prepare for them and they can bring their questions. There's going to be a way for you to send, questions in advance so we kind of know. But going back to exactly what I was just talking about, guys, when the first topic that we're going to talk about is that business strategy 2022. And I think that's very, very, very important at this stage. And Zac, like you were saying, the biggest thing, especially from the peer-to-peer, is everybody's going to be at different stages of their business. And at one moment might be important to you, right? Because you're going through that part of the journey. So it's having the opportunity to kind of connect with all these kind of different people and kind of be able to get that detailed information and really kind of get into the nitty-gritty of your business.
And the other program that we're going to have is that one-on-one coaching with me, Edgar, and Zac. And the goal of this one is to help you work on your business journey. There's a cost for the program as well, but this one's a private one. It's a one-on-one with just you. Nobody else is involved aside from yourself, who you invite, Edgar, Zac, and me. And what we want to be able to do is share some of our experiences and the things that we do and we've done so that you can help grow your business and kind of get you where you need. It's more of using more of a scalpel opposed to like a baseball bat to approach certain issues. Zac made a great point when he was talking about the other program, and it's about how we kind of have to glaze over some things and can't really get into specifics. We can sit here all day and tell you, hey, look, this is where you need to go, but there's multiple ways to get there. And doing this one-on-one coaching is more of a, look, this is ways of the navigation, right? This is exactly how you're going to get there, the shortest distance. This is your roadmap. And what's involved is pretty intense. And we're going to kind of go through some of the things that we cover on this level, but this is the real deal. And to be honest, I think it's a steal as far as what we're starting to charge for, especially if you've just started in the business and you need some guidance so that you can learn to do things correctly at the beginning, or even if you've been established and you've been doing it for a while and you're just looking for a change and you want to be more profitable and you want to be more successful at the business that you're currently running or have been running, this is for you. This is the real deal, and this is where we're going to put a lot of our blood, sweat, and tears to show you about all the things we've learned, all the mistakes we've made, and how you can avoid them so that you don't have to pay for them like we did going through our journey. So I think this was going to be pretty fun. And it's something that we've been doing, I think, throughout our years, in the pool industry. I've talked and coached to many, many guys out there, and I've watched and seen how they've grown and how they've applied some of the things that we've applied as a business and seen that it's been successful, not just in my market, but other markets. And it's a beautiful thing to see. And this is going to be, if you want to be able to pick our brains and you want to be able to have us and wrangle us down, sit us down and talk to us and say, hey, okay, look, John, hey, Zac, hey, Edgar, this is what I need help with. I promise you will not be disappointed. The program that Edgar has planned and the information and the tools we're going to give you, it's not just going to be us talking and giving you guidance, but we're actually going to be tangible things you're going to take with you, structure so that you can build your business correctly. You can turn it into a true business, into a company that's going to be able to make things happen. So I know I said I was excited about the other one, but this one I'm really, really excited about because this is where we can really get into the nuts and bolts of things and we can come up with actionables, game plans. We can follow up, see actual results and watch you guys grow. So go to our website, check it out, sign up. I promise you won't be disappointed. If you're really interested in building your business, I think this will probably be the best package for you personally.
This is where I get excited, especially to be able to watch somebody kind of come in, and I'm going to tell you why. We all have different strengths, and I think that's a great thing. And so I'm dying to see, and we have somebody, by the way, that signed up already. So we need to schedule that on October 3rd after the peer-to-peer so that we can kind of talk to him. But I think what's going to happen is, John is a guy that's very strategic. John is a guy that will be able to talk about procedures and how to deal with customers and how to sell that high rate and how to do all that. And he's a numbers guy. Zac, I love that he thinks from the business perspective all the time, right? We're kind of talking numbers and percentages and profit wise and doing, performance evaluations and the different tier systems and why this one works and why this one doesn't work. And we talk about, the hiring and how, just the normal stuff doesn't work anymore. So how to change that from your business standpoint. So I'm super excited, guys, to see that first person come in and have them come in and we'll talk about their strengths. We'll talk about their weaknesses. We'll talk about all that. But to be able to kind of see exactly where they're at and kind of where they fit into that puzzle, I'm super excited to be able to see that. Guys, let's do this. We've been talking for an hour already. We haven't taken a word from our sponsors. Zac, I'm going to have you jump in. I know that you wanted to say something. Let's take a word from our sponsors. When we come back, Zac, I'm going to have you jump in. In the meantime, I'm going to run down and get the award. So we'll be right back, guys.
The SPPA is dedicated to the niche general liability insurance needs of pool and spa professionals. As industry leaders, we'll fight for you, protect you, and be there for you. We provide extraordinary service before and after the membership and insurance is in effect. Insured members of the program get the best customer support and have peace of mind that their alliance is their voice and always fighting for their program and insurance needs. We proudly insure thousands of pool and spa professionals across the United States. With over 30 years encompassing the pool and spa industry, we know the needs of pool and spa professionals. Through the SPPA program, there are 3 tailored and customized general liability insurance options to pick from. For more information on our programs and insurance options, visit our site at www.thesppa.com. The sound of you continually pitching pool care poles into the trash. The sound of you using an Ultimate Pool Tools carbon fiber pool care pole for years to come. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at ultimatepooltools. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add recurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Do you know the actual cost of the pool service you provide or the financial health of your pool business? If you don't, it can put you out of business. Pool Nation has created a business training that focuses on the financial side of your business.
What we've done, guys, is we've put a training class together that focuses on 5 metrics that we've created. The goal is you do it, and by the time that you're done with the class, you have all those numbers, you have all that data.
It is the only course that as you enter your data into our exclusive software, it will tell you how much money you are making or losing. It's that simple.
We talk about the metrics, we talk about insurance, what to look for, we talk about billing software.
By the time you are done with the training, you will know your exact cost to service a pool, fixed cost of cleaning, your average profit per pool, your average monthly rate, repair profits and profit percentage, and how much money you are actually making.
And we have had people that have taken the class and had some cash flow issues, and they've made some adjustments with their billing software, and that's kind of solved that issue.
During the training, utilizing our software, you will create your business profit and loss. Once you create your P&L, we will cover the fundamentals of the P&L and how important it is to the success of your business. For more information and the next training dates, visit www.poolnation.online. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you get to keep. For more training dates, go to www.poolnation.online.
Welcome back, everybody. We're talking to John. We're talking to Zac. We're talking about our peer-to-peer. We're talking about our one-on-one coaching. So, Zac, sorry that I cut you off a little bit there before we went on break. So let's continue our conversation with the one-on-one coaching.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to add to what you guys were saying. And as John mentioned, in most cases, people are very guarded. I am too, in a way. There's certain things that I don't want to give out to certain people. And like John said, over the years, we've had the opportunity to coach different people and kind of work with them on different things. And a lot of times there's, like John said, there's multiple ways to get to the same goal, but we need that information so that we can really see what you're already working with, what you already have going, and how can we now tailor a plan to you to kind of move the ball in the right direction. And the other thing is that over the years, one thing that it's worked for me, it's kind of building a team around me. And you got to think of your team as not only the people that are at work grinding with you every day, but also the other people. And to give you examples like manufacturer and distributor reps, like, do you have a good relationship with a rep? Are you getting, additional warranty stuff that can help you with your sales or rebates or things like that? Peers, I'm constantly calling around, bouncing, hey, I have an idea. What do you think about that? Can I get your feedback? And then I call the next person, hey, I have an idea. Can you give me your feedback? CPA, an attorney, maybe you have multiple attorneys for different types of things, bankers, web people, and so on. And, a big piece of that is some sort of coach or strategist or mentor, so to speak, to really help you dive in and kind of bring all of that together and make sense of it. So like John, I'm very excited about this one. I think it will be fun to really get in the trenches with different people and, see what we can do. And the goal at the end of the day is just, it's not for us to come and pass this knowledge or anything along, and that's what it is. It's just to really get your mind going, get you thinking, seeing the different angles. And with anything, when you practice thinking that way, or you practice looking at things a different way, it starts to become more normal and more natural, and you start to just do it and think that way naturally. So super pumped.
This is something that obviously we've been talking for a while. Even when I started, just that I was doing the Instagram Live, I had a lot of guys reaching out saying, can you do this? Can you do that? But I think a lot of it is that, we want to do something that has a structure to it, right? It's not just hey, let's get on the phone, let's talk for an hour, and then we're done, right? We kind of have to have some structure with it in order to be able to, get you on that right track. Because our goal is not to just kind of sit here and talk about things. Our end goal in everything that we do is the same thing, right? Is how do we elevate the talent? How do we elevate our industry? So whatever it is, that part that we do has to have that aspect to it. So John, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that we're going to cover at this level. And then maybe you and I can kind of go back and forth with some of the things that we have on there on our list of the things to go through. So I'll start. And maybe the first one, obviously, we start talking about, and we kind of start talking with you. We really kind of start looking at org charts. Where are you today, right? What do you want to do with your company? What do you want to do 2 years from now? What do you want to do 5 years from now? Because that kind of has to be almost like the first question. We really need to get an understanding of where you're at, where you want to go, so that as you build your business, you're building it for that future. So, really it's sitting down, kind of figuring out, what does your org chart look like? What does your business look like now? And then what do you want to look for it to look like 2 years and then 5 years down the road?
Edgar, I think on that one, you make a great point. I want people to understand that not everybody wants to become a big company, right? If your goal is to not be, you don't want 10 trucks, you just want, you're happy and content with it just being you, or you're happy and content with it being you, your wife, or you and a family member, that's fine. And it's important to understand where you are, what you see yourself 2 years, 5 years from now, so that we can come up with a plan and maximize whatever business structure, whatever organizational structure you have, so that it's the most profitable and you can get the most out of it, right? And you can get the most enjoyment out of it with the least amount of headache. So that's huge. And it's available for everybody, whether you're, like I said, whether you're a one pooler or whether you're a bigger company like Zac and other companies out there that have thousands of pools. The other thing we're going to cover, and this is just a small portion of some of the things, but just to give you a taste of what we're looking at, is like, one-on-ones, right? So we're going to find what your business strengths are, your weaknesses, and your needs. You hear me talk about this all the time. Everything in life is when you deal with people and when you deal with yourself, you find more motivation when you work on things that you're good at. So it's us digging down deeper and finding out what your strengths are and how you can utilize those strengths in your business on a day-to-day basis so that you become as successful as possible. And more importantly, you enjoy what you're doing. Nobody wants to get burnt out. Nobody wants to do anything that they don't like to do. And a lot of times when people are working in any industry or working on their business, we find that they're just misguided, or they're not focused on the right portion of their business, and they're beating themselves up on things that they're not very good at, right? Instead of leveraging and leaning on other people to help them with those inconsistencies or things that they don't enjoy doing. But they feel as a business owner that they have to do this, or this is something they need to do, when the reality is, no, it's not. And Zac makes a great point on that. You have to be able to lean on people, and you have to be able to find people, whoever it is. And even if it's not somebody you hire, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be anything. But be able to find that person that you can lean on so that you can focus on the things that you love to do so that you do them better. So that one-on-one is going to be huge.
And I want to jump in and say, I think John was talking about the end of my 5-year strategy with thousands of pools. We're not there yet, but that's our trajectory. But, another topic that we'll, want to get into is like business strategy 2022, and look at the current state of, the industry, and put a strategy in place that focuses on 2022. And, it's so hard to just stop, push pause, and think about the future, because when we're going and hustling, we're just going and, putting one foot in front of the other, and that's as far as we can see. And it's so funny you talk about a 5-year plan. That's actually one of the questions I ask in an interview. And when I ask it, that's the showstopper question of the whole interview. When I ask, where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's just like mind blown. There's just so much that goes into that.
Yeah, and I'm passionate about that business, strategy 2022, because what I really want to avoid next year is a lot of what we saw this year. It was really tense during the summertime. It was really emotional. It was really, a lot of people were distressed out there. Every time I keep talking about it, the more I talk about it, the more passionate I kind of get about, talking about that stage. So, Zac, I think that's a huge one. The other things that we need to do is, once we've identified those areas of focus, is really kind of create a game plan to obviously be able to address those. So as we kind of get to that stage, we kind of put a game plan together and act on that plan.
I think one of the most important things, if not the important thing, is financials, right? And you hear us talk about this all the time, but it's knowing your numbers, your costs, your profits, put actual things in place, plans that will give you the metrics that you need so that you become more profitable. The biggest downfall that a lot of business owners in this industry and in all industries, they don't understand these numbers. They just look at the end of the day. They see what money they have that came in, right? They know they can pay their bills. They know they made a profit, and they know they're going to make it through the next month. But the reality is there's so much more that they can be making, or they're just not maximizing or understanding, and they're shortchanging themselves. And the sooner you understand your numbers and and what affects them and what you need to do to either increase them or decrease in certain areas, the sooner you're going to be more profitable in your business. And every month that goes by, you're losing money. So I look at it like this. You jump on our plan, you start doing these one-on-ones, and we start implementing things that change your business, whether it may be giving you the confidence so that you can ask for more when you're quoting and having a higher monthly minimum, or whether it be putting a value to the time when you're there doing repair work, or when you're selling a product, what to sell it for, or what margins you should be expecting, and things you should take into account when you're pricing, or, maybe giving quotes or estimates or anything like that. And it starts to relate to dollar amounts. It pays for itself tenfold. Because when you start implementing just small little things that might change your day or might increase your profits by 1% or 2%, over a month, over a year, over 3 years, we're talking about serious money. Think of it like the variable speed of businesses. You install a variable speed and how much money you save, and it starts to pay yourself back. Well, kind of like the same thing. When you look at it that way, I guarantee you, anybody that makes the wise decision to join this peer-to-peer group, we're going to put our heart and soul into it. We can't make you do things, but we can set you up and you have to execute them, and we can help you through it and get you to that point. But I promise you that if you take the time to sit with us and we guide you through this, you will see results, right? And you will start putting more money into your bank account. You'll start putting more money into your pocket, and it'll be well worth the fee or the price of admission. So financials is very important. It's one thing that people like to close their eyes and just pretend as long as I got money in the bank, I'm okay. But they're either afraid or they feel like wrong for charging more or doing this or just don't understand it. We kind of help you get a grasp of it so that you have it under control and you know what you need to look at when it comes down to your business metrics.
What I love about this part of it, I think a lot of people think that the financial side and the looking at numbers is very difficult. And it's just like anything else that we learn in our industry. It's our industry is what I call very repetitious. There's only one way to change pump seals on a Pentair pump, right? There's only one way to change a sensor. There's only one way. So everything's repetitive. So you learn a lot of it just because it's plainly repetitive and it's the same thing that you're going to do over and over again. You just gain that knowledge over time. And financials are no different. And some of the tools that we've put together to make that a lot easier, like the business training, like the Pool Invoice software that we have, we've really built those tools so that all you have to do is you have to use it. And it gives you those numbers for you. You don't need to go out and create this Excel sheet and try to figure this out and try to figure that out. And what I love the most is the people that we have helped and the people that have used the tools and the people that we have talked to on a monthly basis. And now they see their numbers. It's life-changing. It's a complete life-changing scenario. And they're looking at it from different perspectives. We have guys that have companies that have 4 or 5 guys and they're charging 150. And after we kind of go through these numbers and they see them over and over again, it's just very clear to them that they want to be at 180. And they're going out quoting those 180 rates and they're turning around calling and going, oh my God, I'm getting the 180. And just because that's where I know I want to be. And when I go out there, I'm a lot more confident in pushing that rate because I know that that's the rate that I need to get. So the financial side of it, guys, it's the same thing. It's just very repetitive. Like every month, you're going to get, what your average rate is. You're going to get those same metrics over and over again. But when you look at them constantly, it's definitely going to change the way that you operate.
I want to jump in because, we talk about financials, knowing your numbers, knowing what your company needs and all that, which is very important. But on the flip side, we talk about, ways to increase revenue as raising prices, cutting costs. So I think it's super important that one of the things we get into is the operations of a business, because are there ways or opportunities to streamline things or to make things more profitable, I guess, or cost less or less expensive or cut expenses by just restructuring some of the operations or adding a step or removing a step to your business? So super important. And another one would be the human resources piece, right? This one's kind of newer for me, and I'm learning what a beast it is. So for those of you that want to grow into multiple trucks and have many people on your team, this is going to be a big piece. And it's something that you're going to have to start thinking about and planning for.
There's just so many different aspects to the side of it, and then with the financials, we obviously talk about, cash flow, and we look, we've helped some people set up, cash flow for their businesses so that it allows them to function a lot more professionally, a lot more stress-free.
P&L, right? So understanding a profit and loss, a monthly review of your P&L so that we can see how your business is doing. And we do a one-on-one coaching so we can figure out where the bleeding's at. Understand exactly what Zac said. The only way to increase profits is either one, increase revenue or cut expenses. It's pretty simple. And through your P&L, you're able to have a bird's eye view of kind of what's going on and where you might be hurting or where you might be doing well in, where there's room for improvement. It validates everything that you're doing as a business, and whatever actionables we come up with, it should, at the end of the day, correlate with more money in your pocket or, more time on your hands so you can spend to do other things with your family, things that are important, things that are valuable to you. That's the goal of this. So whatever it may be, that's what we're going to structure our approach is so that we can help you achieve whatever goal you want. whether it be more time at home with your family, whether it be being more proficient in business or chemistry or whatever it may be, whatever you want to be proficient in, or whatever is important to you. Our goal is to help get you to that milestone or get you to where you want to be much quicker and easier, without having to go through all the roadblocks and headaches and trials and tribulations that we all went through when we started doing it.
Absolutely. So super, super excited about it, guys, and super excited about the ones that we've kind of helped so far. And John, you're hitting on all the good ones with the financial and the P&L. One of my favorite things to do, guys, is have you guys have your P&L, and then we sit and we do a P&L review. And what we do is we just kind of sit there and we just kind of pick at your P&L, right? And we kind of have you answer back why some of those expenses are there, why were those decisions made. And I'll give you an example of one of them. Is, we're kind of helping somebody and they do, their taxes, but they take that hit all in 1 month. So what happens is that profit and loss takes a huge hit that month because it's a big chunk of money that they need to pay out because they have employees and all that kind of thing. So we put different strategies in place how to avoid that so that your profit and loss doesn't look like that. Because if at some point you are in growth mode and you need to go borrow money, they're going to look at your profit and loss. And if your profit and loss looks like a yo-yo, where 2 months you have 2 good months, and then this month you have a terrible month, and then this month you do good, guess what? The chances of you getting money are going to be slim, because what they want to see is they want to see that consistency. They want to see that you're making money, because the way they're going to look at it is, sure, now you had 5 good months, 5 bad months, and then 2 that were so-so. How do we not know that next year you're not going to have 7 bad months, right? So you have to show some consistency in that profit and loss so that if you're in that situation and you need to borrow, you need to buy trucks, you need to do all that, your business is set up successfully to be able to do that. Guys, let's do this. Let's take our last word from our sponsor. And then after that, Zac, John, will get your final thoughts.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add recurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Do you know the actual cost of the pool service you provide or the financial health of your pool business? If you don't, it can put you out of business. Pool Nation has created a business training that focuses on the financial side of your business.
What we've done, guys, is we've put a training class together that focuses on 5 metrics that we've created. The goal is you do it, and by the time that you're done with the class, you have all those numbers, you have all that data.
It is the only course that as you enter your data into our exclusive software, it will tell you how much money you are making or losing. It's that simple.
We talk about the metrics, we talk about insurance, what to look for, we talk about billing software.
By the time you are done with the training, you will know your exact cost to service a pool, fixed cost of cleaning, your average profit per pool, your average monthly rate, repair profits and profit percentage, and how much money you are actually making.
And we have had people that have taken the class and had some cash flow issues, and they've made some adjustments with their billing software, and that's kind of solved that issue.
During the training, utilizing our software, you will create your business profit and loss. Once you create your P&L, we will cover the fundamentals of the P&L and how important it is to the success of your business. For more information and the next training dates, visit www.poolnation.online. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you get to keep. For more training dates, go to www.poolnation.online.
All right. So we were already taking our last word from our sponsor. So let's jump into our final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
Zac,
go.
I'll go first. So I have to say, sorry, Edgar. I didn't realize I've been holding this pen for a lot of the podcasts. And so if there's a couple of in there, I apologize. I didn't even realize it. So, but
Let him have it, John.
I know you'll clean it up.
I thought he was going to say, sell me this pen to you, Edgar.
So my apologies. No, I mean, we've definitely put a lot out there today. I want to encourage people to just start taking that next step and thinking about the business side of things. And the whole goal here has been said over and over is just to create that nation of pool pros. Really, I don't have much more than that today. Just if you have any questions, definitely let us know. If it's something you're thinking about doing, you're not quite sure, reach out. We can have a discussion about it and get into some more details.
Absolutely. John.
Happy Friday.
Exit stage door 5.
Right. Look, well, today's podcast was interesting, and I'm sure people, or at least I felt, we're talking about our classes, talking about, our peer-to-peer and stuff like that. And, this is personally, I think this is a pretty amazing thing to be able to do and offer to have, as a resource especially for newer pool people that are getting into the industry, to at least have somebody they can lean on to help guide them through this journey that, when I started, I wish I had. I'll tell you this, if this was available when I first started, I would have been the first person to sign up. Because, knowledge is power, and learning from people, especially that have been in industry, it's hard to put a dollar amount on that, because some of the things that we're going to try to teach or guide you to is things that just you can't read out of a book. So these aren't things that like, oh, go read this book and you'll know how to run a business, or, hey, you'll know how to deal with employees, or you'll understand customers or how to sell. No, this is like, these are the things that took lots of struggle and pain and mess ups and screw ups and, in order to learn and understand before we can get to a point to where we can actually offer it as advice, and then tailor it on top of it to the pool industry, to an industry that you're actually going to be in, I think is really valuable. I think Edgar, you're going to do a money back guarantee on this or something? You're muted. When you're screwing around with that award, you're muted, bro.
Yeah, call Edgar.
You're muted, bro.
Dang. I don't know if you caught me, but I was totally messing with you, because I'm like, John's talking and I'm bringing out the trophy again and kind of showing the trophy. But you held pretty good, John. I'm impressed.
I was trying not to look, and I'm trying to be serious, because look, I know there's going to be people are going to be out there going, hey, what are these guys doing? Stuff like that. And go, you know what? It's not for you.
It is, John. It is what it is.
If you're not interested in it, by all means, it's not for you, But if you're serious about becoming better and becoming more profitable and growing your business, and this is definitely for you. If not, continue. We're still going to be doing our podcasts and our lives and everything else that we're doing. Join us there, and that there's no cost to that, and there's no need for you to do that. We're going to continue doing it, but this is just for when people seriously want to have a business coach and want to be able to pick the minds of us, and also all the resources that we have that we can bring to the table and get you in contact with, so that you get set up for success. So I hope to see you guys sign up, and looking forward to doing these one-on-ones with whoever wants to. So other than that, have a wonderful night or day or morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So Yes, I agree, guys. I think it's super exciting to be at this stage to, work on these and put these out for everybody. And that's what we're going to continue to do. We're going to continue to put tools out there that are going to be able to help. But the main goal is to put tools together that are going to help elevate the industry. And I'm going to do this one more time because I'm super excited about this. Come on, guys, look at the screen. Look at that baby, John, right there. So we're going to close off this live by showing the award. Go to the Facebook page, scroll all the way to the end of the video if you want, but you're going to be able to see that bad boy trophy right there. And we'll close it at that. I'm going to head out to Oklahoma, guys, see my daughter for the weekend. Super excited about it. Zac, John, as usual, thank you for your time. John, I really apologize for us going really late today. I know that, there's a little bit of a time thing that we wanted to stick to, and we're almost 2 hours into it.
We can't do it. Every time we say we're going to stick to an hour, it never works out. So let's stop saying that. Yeah.
Let's just stop saying it.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
So anyways, guys, I hope you have a great weekend. We will talk on Monday. We'll see you guys on Wednesday on the Instagram Live. Everybody is out here saying thank you on the live. Have a great weekend. Safe travels. Great show today. You make the trophy look sexy.
Edgar's our trophy girl.
He is our trophy girl.
You know what? The person that said that, I'm going to make them go to the awards and give one of these out. Make them be all sexy. So anyways, so big shout out to everybody out there. Have a great weekend. We will catch you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye. See you guys.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or PoolNationPodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at Pool.Nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to PoolInvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. PoolmanUniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at PoolmanUniversity.com.
Pool Nation, all rights reserved. No part of this podcast may be reproduced in a verbal or nonverbal way. May not be distributed. It may not be distributed in any social media platforms or transmitted in any other forms or any other means, including recording or other electronic or mechanical methods without the prior written permission of Pool Nation.